Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to my channel. We are doing part 3 on this picture here, and we're going to do the little birdies here, and probably her little outfit she has on, and then a background on this particular picture that we're doing. Now I will leave a link down below on this page, and I just thought I'd let you know it's one of Mariola Budek's Etsy shop. It's a PDF. It's a digital picture. And I'll leave a link down below to the page. She is called Listening to Nature. And she's just a gorgeous gal. And we've done part 1 was her skin, part 2 was her hair and her eyes. So we're going to do the birds this time, and I've got some pan pastels picked out. I kind of do the birds in kind of realistic colors, so we're going to get out, and this was neutral gray extra dark and neutral gray. This one, well, I'm going to say they're both called the same thing. So if you can see this, it says neutral gray extra dark, and there's the number 820.2. This one is neutral gray extra dark, and it's 820.1. So this is 1 and this is 2. I transpose numbers all the time. It's amazing I can even read. So I'm going to put a little bit of coloring on here. What I have picked for these birds is a kind of a house swallow or finch, whatever you want to call it. They are kind of gray with brown in them, a little black underneath their bills, and a little grayness on their chest, on this area. I'm thinking one of these is a male, one of them's a female, and we'll see if we get any difference in between them when I start coloring them. So we are going to also get out a little card here, because this is printed on the same thing that these are cut out on. This is just plain cardstock that I got at my store, and it is just a bright white 110-pound cardstock paper. Cheap stuff. Nothing special about it. But it's what I use. So we're going to check the color out here. See which ones, I mean, I know you can tell which one's dark, but I want to know how dark these are. And then we'll get the darker one. Okay, so one's almost black. And we want the lightest one, because we're going to do kind of a light gray and then some speckles of black. We're going to work on this little guy here first. Okay, so we're going to take, this might have a little brown on it, I'm not sure, but we're going to use this. I'm going to have a little bit more control, I think, with this one. So we're going to add a little of the darkness under his beak here. Why don't I get you down just a little closer so you can see exactly what's going on here with this little guy. Okay, so we're just going to pat in some of that gray there, and we're also going to pat it in right down here on his chest area. And then up here on his cheek. A little around his beak area. And then a little up here on his beak itself, because they have a darker beak. Tiny bit coming up from the beak. And then the back of his hair, head, I'm sorry, hair. They're feathers. Don't remember, if you go out of the lines, you can still use an eraser. This is about the 4th time I've put pastels on this, but every time I finish an area, I go back and I put a fixative on it. And it's a workable fixative, so you can work on top of it. Okay, can now just take a little bit that's on the tool here. We're going to wipe some of that off just to make it lighter. And I'm also going to bring in some of this one, and this is the Colorless Blender. So we can blend a soft gray going in here. So I want to put a little down here. Kind of bring it upward a little bit. I'm going to take some more of that off, and then just with the Colorless Blender kind of go in that area. I'm just using a rag to wipe it off of the tool here. Okay, we're going to go into the darker one, which is 1201. Almost looks black. And we're going to put a little bit of this around his eye here. Darken that up. His beak. That a little darker. Area under his chin. And then just down in here a little bit. Make that a bit darker. Probably under his wing here too. Okay. Now the brown areas that he has are on his wings here and a little bit on the back of his head. And I'm going to go in with the skin tones that we had, and one of them is burnt sienna plain, and then the other one is burnt sienna extra dark. Okay, so we'll bring in the burnt sienna first, kind of map out our brown in his wing here. And then his head up here. Okay, and his little feet are kind of that color also. I just Googled the type of bird I wanted, and I'm looking at the computer to check out his coloring. And we'll put a little pencil in this too. Okay, the darker brown, just to touch in some colors for shading. Okay, a little brush here, and that looks good for right now. We'll go over to the other birdie, do the exact same thing. I don't have a picture of the female bird, so I'm going to guess that they were not as bright, but okay, that is the light gray. Not sure what that color is. We want that off. And just use the Colorless Blender again here and blend that up into the tummy area. Okay, then we'll put some brown in the wings of this little one. I'm just touching the tip of this in the pastel pen, if you're wondering, so I have a little more control over where I'm putting the color. And I'm going to put a little in the tail here. Put the little darker brown in there. A little of the dark gray needs to go in there too. Okay. And we're going to erase around the edges. Oh, I forgot to do this little guy's feet. We'll do his feet here too. It's just done in the same brown as we stuck in his wings, the Sienna. And I'm going to take it down and I'm going to spray this. Just put a little more of this. In him just to give him a little more color. We'll do a little more over here too. Okay, so I'm going to take it down, spray it, and then we'll come back and do some pencil work. The erasing part is just with a regular eraser. You can use one of those kneadable erasers. I don't have one, so I'm just going to use my regular little eraser. Clean up the edges here. Just in case I got any dust out there, which I know I did. Okay. Get that swept away. And then I will take it down, get that sprayed, and we'll be right back to finish up the little birds. See you in a bit. Okay, we're back. I'm going to do a little detailing on the birdies. I've got Prisma Black, because I like this black the best. And then I brought out the same colors we kind of did her skin in. So we have burnt ochre, a burnt sienna, brown ochre, and a Indian red. So I'm going to put the Indian red down first. There is a red tone to the brown, so we're going to add that in and then add the browns on top. So we're just going to bring some of that in. Little tiny strokes like the feathers. Tiny pin feathers. So put a little over here by the face. And then in the wings. And on the base of the head, tiny bit down here in the tail. Okay, we'll add a little just on the back side of the legs. All right, then we'll bring in the brown. So this one is the burnt sienna. Tiny little strokes. Now we'll bring in the brown ochre. This one I probably should sharpen if I can find out what I did with the sharpener. Okay. Just turning the pencil so I can keep a sharp edge on my tiny little marks I'm putting on the paper. Okay, now we have to bring in some of the gray. So we will bring in some Payne's gray here. And there's gray in the wing here, almost a gray black that comes in here. Up on his head up here, we're going to bring some of that. Tiny little lines. A little darkness under his chin has got to come in. Okay, then we're going to bring in a lighter gray. And I've got to figure out if we use cool gray or a warm gray. What do we got here? That'll work. Okay, we're going to bring in cool gray 3. Still, we're going to just do the light little lines. Tiny little feathers here. And then kind of a speckled chest. So that's what I'm going to try to do there. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the black and just kind of go in here and there and put in a little extra speckling. That'll kind of define his little wing here a little better. Okay, and then the lightest gray I can get here is the cold gray 1. Still, again, the tiny little marks. We're going to take the Prisma white. Just kind of accent some white areas here. I'll get that sharpened too a bit. Throw in a little white in the wing here too. Soften that up just a bit. And there we go. Now we just got to do the other one. So we just scoot over and we'll add some onto him. I'm going to make this one just a little lighter. Since you can't see his back wing or anything, we can pretend this is the female without so much color. So we darken the beak. Go up here on the eye. Down on the chin a little bit. Put some of the speckles here in the chest. Color in the wing. Okay, we'll bring in the lightest color, which is the brown ochre. And then the gray. Get a little more brown just down here, light brown. Bring in the white. Okay, gonna add just a little bit more. This is the Cold Gray 3 down in here. And a little bit of the Payne's Gray. Okay, little birdies. I think they're good. We're going to put a little Posca in their eyes. Make sure that works. Maybe just a little on the tip here for their beak. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now we got to work on her little shirt here. Now, to me, it looks like a Battenberg kind of lace, which means that the top would be light, and the you could see through the cut out holes in here, so that would be more or less skin color. Or a backing, I don't know. The way she has it drawn out with the brown tone is absolutely gorgeous, and I hate to screw it up, but I'm going to do this in kind of a pink tone down here because I want to bring some of the pink up. So I want it light pink. That's my problem. I giggle. I was going to do it in pastel and then erase out the stuff, but I have to find a pink, kind of a pastel-y pink, and I think that will do. So what I'm going to do is, oh boy, let's get out one of these bigger ones, get it clean. Take some pink. I'm hoping this won't look too skin tony. I'm going to try to leave the top up here, so just going downward here, and leave the tip top a whiter color. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it down in here. The color that I am using is Permanent Red Tint. So it's a very soft kind of pink. I'm also going to bring in some of the Colorless Blender here and make sure we're not getting too dark. I want it to be a nice color there. And go right over here. Okay. Then right up on, it's kind of the same line. It's those little dots there. Okay. Going to wipe off that color as much as I have on there, and then I'm just going to go in with a plain colorless blender here and just kind of bring it down so it kind of fades into that pink. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit of one of the skin colors here. Let's see which one I have. Well, it could be a brown, a mix. So what I'm going to do is take this little mixing thing here, some of the brown and some of the light skin color, mix those up. Little colorless blender, and we're going to go in the shadow area here. Okay, probably have a little shadow there too, so wherever you think there would be a shadow coming from the hair, from her arm, on the other side, down in the hole. Could have some kind of shadow going on down here. We need a little more pink here. Okay, then just blend that in. Yeah, I kind of like that. If you want a little more color, we can bring in the, what was that color? It's here somewhere. This really, really dark color that I love. The Magenta Dark. I mean, it's really dark. But if we put it on this little spongy here, we'll put it right where the brown was. We're just putting it down, and then we're going to get some of the Colorless Blender on top of it. I'm going to use that to darken up this area too, just a little bit more. Yeah, like that, a little bit more. All right, move these out of the way. A lot of cleanup on this desk. Dust that off. And erase this little bit that I got out here. Okay, that's a little bit more than I think there. And then I'm just going to take it and run it across just the top of these little ones up here. Just to give it a lighter tone up here. There we go. Okay, then I am going to just take one of these little sponges. These are just kind of like tools that you use when you just dip it right into the color here. And I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to run it across the bottom of the page. And that just drags that color down so it doesn't look like it's, you know, just stopped there. So if you put this in a picture frame or something, it just adds a little to it. You're not going to notice it much on anything else. It's just there to bring the eye down a little. Okay, I really should spray that. But we're going to go ahead and, oh, why don't we do our fingernails that way? How fun. Okay, what did I do with my stuff? Okay, let's see if I can do this. Paint her fingernails without getting it all over everything. There we go. And we'll darken that up with a little bit of, what are you? Not the Indian red. Same I did on her lips. We'll bring some Caput Mortium Violet in on that. There we go, and we'll add a little white shine on them. Just like that. This one's just a little dark there. Okay, I'm going to go down and spray this, and then I will let this dry, and we will come back and do the background. So see you a bit. Okay, we're back, and I'm going to do a background, and I'm going to do it in pastels. Just think it might be easier for the background. This is a blue, and I think it might bring out the color of her eyes, and it'll go nicely with the little birds. So the color for this is Phthalo Blue Tint, and I think I can turn it over if I hold my hand here. So it's 560.8. This came in the set of pastels that I have. That's this one, Flower Coloring Set 2, Susan's Garden. Comes with 7 pastels. And that's the blue set. And I took the phthalo green out, or the phthalo blue out of that section. I'm just going to put it on with this. I'm going to get the blender and just get some of that on the paw here, whatever you want to call it, and some of the blue, and we're just gonna put it on here. Just kind of going around everybody. And then we'll bring that color outward. And that's what the Colorless Blender's for, so when we bring it out, it'll blend nicely on the paper. Okay, go around everybody. If you get it on the bird, it's okay, because I've put a fixative on it along with everything else. I just don't want to purposely put it on there. Okay, we'll just take the Colorless Blender and just lightly blend that completely out on the paper. So it gives this light blue look. Okay, get a little more blue in here. Hopefully you can see all of this. Okay, we'll go on this side. Okay, I'm going to turn it around so I can see a little bit of what I'm doing. A little bit up here on her head. Okay. We're going to take my little brush here, wherever it went, dust that off. Gives it just a really light look. Now if you want to bring any of this in, I did this on my last one. So I took one of these brushes, just tap it in there. You get a ton of this on this brush, but you can brush it in like that on the paper, and it gives it a nice light look also. So if you wanted to add a little bit more blue somewhere in here, you can add that in. Just kind of make it look a little splotchier, which I think is fun. You could also add a couple of colors in here and do this too. I know that's a lot of dust. Okay, we're going to get most of that off of there. Wipe it up, and then just use our little duster here, and it just adds a little bit to it. I will have to spray it again. You do a couple of coats of that if you like. If you like the way it looks, then leave it alone. You're going to want to clean up the little areas that you have, like in her hair. You can either use a eraser to do that, a rag if you want to just run it around, get it out of certain areas. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay. And then we're going to add some details in her hair here a little bit more. I wanted to bring some of these fluffs out a little bit. We're going to add a little white in here, just because I need a little more strands of hair everywhere. Okay, then we will get, we did her hair in these colors. So this is the brown ochre, which is the light color here. And we're just going to bring some of this down here. Maybe bring a piece coming down off her face. Just kind of go over a few areas. That's what I play with. Like maybe here there'll be another little piece of hair falling down across here. Just little pieces falling out here and there. Okay. Kind of liking how that turned out. Even though the background, it doesn't stand out as much as if I was putting distress ink on it. It gives it a nice little bit of color. Very, very light color, but it's there. So I'm going to call it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some hints on how to do a few extra little things. Like I said, I have to take it down and spray it. So I will leave a picture at the end of the video of what she looks like. The picture will be not on this table because this table is a mess. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you're all staying safe. Take care, everyone. Bye now.